Welcome to the Two Guys, One Coup podcast with Dale and Jim, where the truth matters and progressives' feelings don't. We bring you the facts from the perspective of two average, everyday guys who will never apologize for being America first, for adhering to our great Constitution, and for saluting the flag that our brothers and sisters have fought and died for. And now, here's Dale and Jim.
Welcome, everybody. Episode 41, Two Guys, One Coup. Thank you for joining us again. We really do appreciate your support, the continued support. It hasn't gone unnoticed by us, that's for sure, and we couldn't do it without you. So we do thank you. Jim, how are you today?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm doing great. All right seems just all right.
No,
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm.
Are you depressed?
No, 4th of July.
Yep, exactly. Well, so I guess we better tell people that because of the holiday, this is actually being recorded before the 4th of July. Mm-hmm. You will be hearing this episode on July 5th. So anything that happens up until that point, you're just not going to hear from us.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it for Thursday.
Talk about it next show. Yeah, we'll talk about it next Thursday. So, but this is being recorded before then because of scheduling conflicts and probably Jim's alcoholism. He'll probably be a little too soused.
It might have been a good show, though. Might have been a good show.
I have to try that one day. Just get you completely 3 sheets to the wind and just start, talking, and we'll see what Jim has to say then. He already says some really controversial things. So I couldn't imagine.
I do. Yeah.
You do. I mean, you're generally
I've got to tone that back.
Controversial.
I got to tone that back. Got to watch my language too.
Watch your language. You're always the one MFing this and F that. And yeah, it's just, it's terrible, Jim. Jim, we got a lot to talk about, I guess, again today. Is that true? Or,
yeah.
We do. And you probably more than me, but hey, that's all right. Might be the Jim show today.
We'll get into this more as we go, but it's, let's remember what this weekend is about and
what it was about
and always
afterwards
and what it was about, and always understand we have our issues, we have our problems. We're a great nation that has that, and we're going to have disagreements, but when I see these polls coming out where even now conservatives are saying they're losing their patriotism, but understand though there's a difference in how it's phrased.
Correct.
Because there could be some conservatives that are a little bit unpatriotic because of the idiots that are running this country right now.
Well, that's true.
That could be it. But as far as patriot, I know we have idiots running this country, but I still love this country because we're allowed to do this.
Yeah, it's
we couldn't do this in China, which is where everybody wants to send everything to. But,
correct.
It's just, this is a great country, and we have our issues. We have our problems.
Every country has history. You learn from the history. You grow from the history. You don't remove the history.
No, you can't.
Obviously,
we've had some bad things. I mean,
every country
but we
does.
Fix them. Republicans usually fixed them, but. But we've broken
them the last 16 months.
Yeah, we fixed them. But anyway, let's just I hope everybody enjoyed it. Hope everybody had a safe holiday weekend. No hands burning off or anything else and stuff like
Blow
that.
It up.
But it's just understand where we're at. There's still people wanting to love to get into our country. They would love to get here, and there's a reason for that.
They're all clamoring to get here. I don't see anybody really just, I can't wait to get to Venezuela. I mean, it doesn't happen, people, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah, and my favorite thing, and we talked about it briefly, but I just want to bring it up because I forgot to say it when we were talking about Amazon, where there's some employees that want to, in the red states where they're, taking a lot of a ban on abortions to a certain extent. And then they said, have the workers walk out. And I wanted to say that, here we go again. Why do Democrats always want to get out of work?
Any excuse they can get. Any excuse.
You've got the unions if they're not happy with what they're getting out, we're walking.
Any excuse for them. Any excuse for them.
Oh, it's just
it is absolutely amazing. And I love the fact that corporations, Jim, are going to pay for travel say you work in a state, say Florida says, okay, 6 weeks, we're going to, which judge blocked, I think, recently, but DeSantis will get it through because that's who he is.
Yep.
But say they block it, or whatever, they'll pay your travel costs to another state to get an abortion. Now, first of all, I don't know how many employees these companies have that are, just out there willy-nilly getting pregnant and want abortions, but they're going to pay for it. Why do you think that is, Jim? I mean, what would be the reason?
It's cheaper to pay for the abortion than it is to pay for the child later in as they grow up. So,
or it's cheaper. The company will pay, or it's cheaper to pay them than maternity leave,
right.
And then you lose your employee for 8 to 12 weeks. And
well, it's everything.
So now you could just go. You can get the drive-through abortions like you've talked about. Come back to work that afternoon. It's basically outpatient surgery, and bam, you're a productive employee again. Those corporations are being so nice to help, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, people, this is the world we live in today. Jim, you're wearing the gang hat again, the 513.
The 513.
The 513, something to be very, very unproud of during baseball season.
They
but that's
are
okay.
absolutely horrible right now, but hey, there's future's bright. I think in 2042, we are going to compete, by God.
I think, by God, it's a rebuilding decade.
Yep, or two.
But yeah, anyways, Jim, you know how I feel about the gang hat. It frightens me.
I know.
It frightens me. Yeah,
because I look like a typical gang member.
You look like a gangbanger,
Yep.
What's up, Essay?
Yeah.
So, was that?
No, my founding father of my gang, my motorcycle gang, died. So it was.
I did see that the Hells Angels founding member passed away. Who's he? 82 or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, we're doing
how
a
old
big
was he when he started that?
We're doing a big rally.
Since?
We're doing a big rally.
Are you?
And stuff. Yeah.
Are you? That's you. You're gonna wear that hat?
Yeah. Exactly right.
All right. Good for you.
We're the official 513.
Are you?
Yeah.
I can see. Jim, what do you say we get on with today's episode? And enough of your jibber jabbering, but you are up first, my friend.
All right. I thought about saving this for last because we're going to have fun with it. We are going to have a lot of fun with it.
You want to start the show with some fun? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now
I'm good. I'll bring the show down. Don't worry about
New
it.
York, which we love New York. I think New York's getting pretty close to passing California here with crazy. Now that, the governor, when she was asked about the statistics backing her up, that the concealed carry permits causing more shootings and death, and she goes, I don't need statistics, I know how I feel. Yeah, that works.
That works.
Anyway,
that's what I'm going to tell my mortgage company. I don't need your paperwork. I don't need the paperwork. Yeah. I know what I want to spend.
Yeah. So okay, so New York schools have found a way to learn respectful language about sex.
New York schools have found a way to learn respectful language about sex.
Yep.
Okay, I'm with you.
Okay, ready?
What
this school is doing, they are teaching students grotesque terms like dick me down and bust one in me.
That's our rap names.
So anyway,
dick me down and bust one in.
Now wait till you hear the reason for this. This is good. Because, 10th grade boys, they're not going to do anything with these terms, right?
No. Hell, we are.
A New York high school is refusing to back down in the face of intense backlash after photos depicting part of a recent sex education lesson in which students discuss terms like coochie slayer and ejaculate and evacuate.
You have a back tattoo that says that.
Was leaked online last week despite facing immediate outrage from parents.
Is this real? Get this off Babylon Bee or something. No, this is real?
From the community about shocking incident, school officials are doubling down in defense of the teacher's lessons plan, claiming that the students must learn grotesque terms like bust one in me and rearrange my insides.
Jim, I can't with this. I mean,
In order to understand the importance of using respectful language about sex. Now, Dale, you and I have been around a while.
we have.
I have never heard the term
Yeah.
bust one in me or rearrange my inside.
Jim, this should not even be funny, but it is.
This is a way. Now, they're teaching this to 10th graders because they want them to know this is not appropriate language.
So they're telling them these phrases, but
They
don't say them.
They probably never heard these.
I'm
So
sure
now
nobody-
you're gonna have some
Oh,
boyfriend go
God.
up to his girlfriend. I'm gonna break one in you, babe. You know.
I'm gonna bust one in.
So
As long as you ejaculate and evacuate, I don't care.
Rob
What is the world coming to?
Rob Astorino, a Republican New York gubernatorial candidate, shared the photo of the lewd terms online and called for a ban on this sort of criminal sexual content in schools.
Agreed.
The leaked photo shows part of the lesson plan from earlier this month for Croton Harmon High School's 10th grade health class. In addition to the vulgar terms above, students discuss phrases like
Jim,
professional raw dogger.
that was that was my job before this.
Face F, you know,
Oh boy.
and
Yep.
and porking.
Porky.
Porking, we've used that.
I mean, Porky. Ever since Porky's came out, the movie.
As
It's
as if Americans
Porky.
didn't realize another reason to get their child out of public schools.
exactly.
Respectful language. These people are sick.
Yeah.
One
That's
appalled
true.
parent who spoke with News 12 Westchester explained the X-rated lesson made her teenage child extremely uncomfortable.
I mean, like how you can't, we're grown adults, completely immature grown adults. I get that. But we could not in school, if this was, come on, like this is for real. Is this school in New York City?
New York,
Or is
well,
it like,
it's
where's it at?
it's in New York. So I didn't
like
Go-
rural New York?
I-
I mean, no way.
I thought this has to be a story for Neil and Jim. It has to be. In response to the intense criticism, school administrators in Croton Harmon District claimed that its teachers should be teaching this extremely explicit material, calling it important for our students because it teaches the students how to communicate respectfully when it comes to sex. Learning experiences such as this one are important for our students, and we trust our highly trained and dedicated and passionate professionals in facilitation of these experiences, the district explained. Unfortunately, this is just one of the countless examples of schools teaching increasingly vulgar content in schools from coast to coast. Children as young as 5 are being introduced to radical gender ideologies and graphic sexual discussions thanks to the left push to sexualize our children.
Yep.
So,
Jim,
so some more terms. Ready?
Oh no. But before you tell me the terms,
Okay.
I have to say this out loud that I am not laughing at this because it's a funny subject. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like this is serious crap, and I get that. Like this really is. But folks, this is you and I. We can't. We can't do a story like this without laughing.
Okay.
So
anybody out there listening, whatever age you are, okay, you're in health class, and your teacher goes,
going back in
"Do
time,
not use the term break one in me."
I'm using it.
Yeah. Guess what you're gonna do? Rearrange my insides. Which that's my favorite one. That's
I know you like that one. You like that one.
And it's like
you're gonna start saying that, which doesn't apply to you, by the way. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I get it.
So I don't want you ever saying to me, Dale, please rearrange my insides. It's not going to happen. Okay.
Okay. So
more terms.
you're right.
Tell me.
It isn't.
Yeah.
It is actually, it is funny, but
it is funny.
We're just trying to, guys.
It's beyond stupid. That's why it's funny.
As you heard from the interview with January Littlejohn,
which I did want to mention before we started. But
and
yes, go on.
This is what's going on in our schools, and
yeah,
I'm sorry, and whether
you are all choked up,
whether you realize it or not. This crap is happening, and so as soon as you say, "Well, it's not happening in my school," it might be.
It's happening.
All it is
it
to
might
watch.
Be. Yeah.
Look.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, this teacher's an idiot because these kids are not going to use these terms. They're going to use them.
But Jim, they're mentally ill.
Well,
these people.
Yeah,
that's what they
horrible.
are. Do you have more terms, or are you just
no? That's it. It's doing.
There is no
doing
more?
The dirty.
Okay.
Banging and banged.
Yeah.
Pound.
The usual ones.
Porking, smashing, tapping.
Jim, keep reading them.
I would have loved to have this taught when I was...
Me too. I mean, come on.
Anyway,
Jim, that is the best. That is one of the best stories I've ever heard in my life.
I told you we would like it.
It was good. I don't know where you found it, but Lord, I'm glad you found it. And it's important. It's important to realize that you and I are just stupid. So if we're laughing at it, it's because it's so funny.
This last little comment is more so the ones paying for it are the American citizens by way of public funding and tax dollars.
Correct.
In just one example, the city of New York recently spent hundreds of thousands on drag queen performances at middle schools.
Oh, that's right.
Where adult men dressed in hypersexualized outfits not only performed for the young crowd, but also gave out drag makeup tutorials to the children. So,
told them how to put on makeup. So,
now the drag queen, you talked about this, okay? Because now they want to have them come in and read for an hour. But the drag
library story time
program is expected to expand for the upcoming school year after the city officials voted to increase the budget last month. So,
what city official?
This whatever city, New York, wherever that.
Oh, so that same story. So that's
it's the same story.
It's
the same story.
Jesus
God. Anyway,
wait, they don't want you saying dick me down, but it's okay if we bring in drag queen Jerry and
who want to rearrange their insides. So anyway,
isn't that basically what transgenders are doing?
I don't know. That's kind of true. Leaning that, but
wow.
Please tell me that this is not okay. I mean, I don't know if I want to live in a world where it's okay. And I was a 10th grade boy.
Yeah,
I don't think I had a teacher brave enough to even bring that up.
No, there was no reason to. Whatever slang terms we used back in the day, and the 80s were full of them.
Oh yeah.
And the 80s were full of them. So whatever slang terms we used back in the day, we were going to use regardless if a teacher told us them.
Exactly.
What I'm amazed by is some of them, like pork and bang and all that crap, that's been around forever, right? So it's forever, as long as I know. I mean, I'm sure my parents didn't say that, but they might have. I don't know, and I'm never going to ask.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that that what I've noticed then is the slangs have gotten incredibly more vulgar and incredibly more funny to me. I'm sorry, and I don't want to keep repeating it, but ejaculate and evacuate to me is the. I mean, that's
after you rearrange the insides.
After you rearrange the insides, ejaculate and evacuate, and I can't.
If this story is wrong, and if somebody can prove that the story is not correct, then please tell me. But
tell us.
So far,
we're happy to.
So far,
nobody's rebutting the story, are they?
Well, so far we've confirmed the drag queens story time.
We have.
Anyway,
and to date, nobody's proved us wrong.
Yeah.
to date.
So
I mean, we've said things that are maybe not exactly right, just in terminology, but
right.
this one is Jim. That was great. That was my
I-
favorite story we've ever done.
even if it's not true, it was fun to read it.
It was fun to-
I'm pretty sure
it
it's
was
true.
It was fun to hear you say the terms.
If I could get it out.
Cause
There's
you're
another one.
Yeah, if I can get it out.
What was that song from the 80s? Smooth Up In You?
Jim, you know the crappy songs from the 80s. I don't know crappy songs from the 80s.
I don't think that was the term. I think that was just
I was
words we
hairband
used.
and heavy metal guy.
See,
you are like Belle Biv DeVoe guy or whatever.
But
their names
even
are.
when we were in school, we changed the lyrics of songs, right? I mean,
of course,
we added our own. So we were doing this well before them, but
everybody does.
But so now these kids have more words to use,
and so do we.
Yeah.
Good news.
Matter of fact, I might try one out tonight.
Me too. I can't wait to tell Mrs. Dale exactly what's about to happen. That is funny. Jim, was that it for your segment, or you got something else?
That was it.
That was it. All right, we're moving on. Allow me to bring the show back to maturity.
It was me that took it away from it.
And by maturity, I mean the more boring part of our episode today. There's something going on in our farmland and our land across this country, and it has to do with Mr. Bill Gates. Whether you want to talk about this or not talk about it, I think it's kind of an interesting thing that's happening.
Something to watch, yeah.
Well, I mean, Bill Gates obviously lately has been, newsworthy because of his connection to vaccines and his speeches about population control
and his love of China.
His love of China, his wanting to microchip human beings. This is, which I love a microchip human. I can't even get a Windows program to load, let alone how good's that going to work, you idiot. But exactly how much farmland. Sorry, I'm looking this way, guys. I'm not looking at the camera. If you are watching, if you're not watching, you would have never known unless I brought it up.
Way to go.
I'm a professional.
That's
Jim.
right.
I'm
you
professional. Exactly how much farmland does Bill Gates own? It is now more than any other individual in America. Why would Bill Gates want to own farmland? Billionaire Bill Gates has a knack for peddling solutions to problems that have yet to emerge. I just love that.
Yep.
The writing's amazing. I didn't do it. It came from the Western Journal, by the way. Christine Favacci was who wrote this. Should we be worried now that he's amassing a sizable chunk of America's farmland? I think we should, but you'll see. According to mainstream media outlets like the Associated Press, there's absolutely nothing to see here. As the Microsoft mogul becomes the largest private owner of U.S. farmland, having acquired as many as 270,000 fertile acres. What do you think that costs, Jim?
Math.
Huh?
Math.
What?
It's math. It's too late in the day for math.
Though it's only a sliver of the nation's 900 million agricultural acres, Gates trust gobbled up property in dozens of states just ahead of a time when several situations are converging to threaten food storage. For instance, perhaps this fact partly explains why North Dakota Attorney General Drew Wrigley sent a letter on June 21st demanding to know exactly how 6 agricultural properties purchased by the trust would be used. Though Gates has stated in the past that the purpose of investing in farmland is to potentially source biofuels and improve seed production, the philanthropic, big word for you, Jim, billionaire has a way of getting ahead of a global crisis before it happens. If anything, quote, if anything kills over 10 million people in the next few decades, it's most likely to be a highly infectious virus rather than a war. Yep. Gates stated during a TED Talk in 2015. I don't know what a TED Talk is. I'm sorry. I should have researched that. 5 years before the COVID-19 pandemic became an investment opportunity for him. Quote again, we've actually invested very little in a system to stop an epidemic. We're not ready for the next epidemic, Gates warned at the time. Moreover, Gates has acquired land while also pushing for the developed world to replace meat
Yeah, my favorite
with
part.
with a synthetic meat-like product with assurances that will get used to the taste difference. That's his quote.
Have you ever had a
Jim.
soy burger?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
take burger out of the name. It's soy paste and it sucks. Okay, you can't put enough ketchup, Worcestershire
You can't
sauce,
put
A1. You can't put enough stuff. It tastes like crap. Okay,
it is. I don't. What would synthetic meat look like?
horse meat. I don't know.
That's not. I mean, don't they already use that at Burger King? I don't know,
Kinda.
but wasn't that the rumor? Or McDonald's.
Well, remember they got to do this now.
Don't sue me. I mean, I just literally
they have
don't
to
know
do
that.
this now because abortion's not legal. So we're gonna have more people walking the planet. So.
Jim, your insightfulness
I'm
is spot on today.
I tell you,
Jim, you're spot on today.
Yeah.
This is literally the Jim show today, and I love it. I love it. I love this, Jim. I move on. It's true that shrewd businessmen like Gates are better at the kind of big picture thinking, which allows them to anticipate the next boom or crisis.
Mhm.
But that's partly the point.
Or
Media
create it.
billionaire. Oh, Jim, again, spot on. Spot on. I have no complaints about you today, other than that stupid hat.
Yeah, I know.
Media billionaire Ted Turner has also invested in 2 million acres of land, much of it rangeland and prairie rather than cropland, and earned the distinction of being the largest private owner of buffalo herds that roam the 200,000 acres of his private ranch, The Guardian reported. Now, before I move on, have you ever been to a Ted's Montana Grill?
Mm-hmm.
Have you been to a restaurant?
Mhm.
You ever gotten the bison burger?
Mm-mm.
Phenomenal. I'm just telling you right now.
Mhm.
Try it if you've never been to one. I am not a big fan of Ted Turner. He's a liberal wacko. But
He's
his
wacko,
rison
period. Just happens
well,
to be liberal.
that's true.
You don't
As-
need to say. Just
those
say,
names are kind of
Oh,
synonymous.
I was gonna say all you gotta do is say
Each other.
liberal. We know it's wacko. So
Yeah, we do. We already know that.
just listen
I
to
guess.
Elizabeth Warren AOC here lately, and you'll get
I could save some of my energy by not combining the two words. I guess you're not wrong. Anyways, try the bison burger. A little
Okay.
salty. I
Yeah.
love salt, but little salty. Amazing, by the way. So if he's doing that to raise bison for meat or whatever, I'm perfectly fine with that. I have no issue with that.
No.
If there's something underlying behind that, I don't know. We'll save that for tinfoil hat day, and we'll see what
Well,
happens.
other than they sterilize humans when you eat the bison burger. So, but anyway,
You're spreading rumor now, Jim. Jim, you're starting to decline a little on this
Yeah, I
show
know.
by spreading
Yeah,
false.
I'm sorry,
You, Jim,
Lord. I apologize.
are fake. You are fake news. Fake news.
Or I was just making
These-
a joke. Can we do that anymore? I don't know. So.
I don't know, buddy. All I know is dick me down. That's all I know. These powerful men have the ability to carve out a decent, if not sizable, portion of food producing land for themselves to use as they please. And that makes people understandably nervous. I agree. And it isn't just agriculture where this is happening. While surging home prices will likely force many would-be home buyers into rentals, which I don't know if that's true or not. I got some. That's a different subject, different time.
Yeah.
I'll explain that some other time. The BlackRock investment firm is buying up single-family properties ready to be leased. The AP again assures us that this is a non-issue. I'm the Associated Press.
Then I'm fine.
Well known for their truth all
I'm
the
fine.
time.
I'm good now.
I don't even know why I'm reporting on it. I'm reporting on non-issues, folks. That's what I do. Considering the small portion of homes this acquisition represents, but taken together, this trend is sounding alarm bells for eagle-eyed Americans putting the pieces together. Although they are deemed baseless conspiracy theories, prudence dictates further scrutiny of these particular events. There is no shortage of people predicting that the world is at the precipice of about to fall off into an abyss with one crisis or another, though it's hard to foresee what shape the disaster, if it comes at all, will take. However, the continuing COVID-19 pandemic, shocking news there, right? Continuing. People are getting it. I'm not saying that still. People are getting it.
People are getting the flu.
It's out there.
Yeah.
We got to learn to live with it, folks.
Mhm.
I mean, it's going to be one of those things, right? People are also supposedly YouTube croaking from the vaccines. I'm not saying that's happening. I'm just saying supposedly. Impending food shortages, soaring housing costs, and a coming energy crisis are enough on their own to cause misery. All of them together are enough to plunge the world into unprecedented chaos. Here's how it ends, folks. But don't worry. It's just a coincidence that Bill Gates and his ilk will once again be in a privileged position to cash in on it. So, Jim, I think there's something to think about there. First of all, I don't want synthetic meat. Please.
I don't even know what it is, and I don't want it.
I don't either. But it sounds to me like it's going to taste like corduroy or something. I mean, I don't want it.
It's just not.
And Bill Gates owning agricultural land, to me, you're not wrong. What will he be growing? What will be in it? I don't trust him. I just don't trust him. He's on the same level as Fauci.
You do know that,
I don't trust these assholes.
We did mention this a little bit briefly, but we won't go into too much detail. But also look at all the processing plants that are being bought by Chinese companies. So,
well, and
as
look at all
and
they didn't even mention in here. I mean, we know what's going on. There's been how many? 40 food plants that have burnt, fire, something stopped production. Jim, are we up to 100?
We are over 100 that either had fires or they had to destroy a number of the animals, mostly poultry. But there's something. I'm sorry. There's something going on. Since we talked about this since January 11th of 2021.
Yes. What happened? What happened in January?
Well, that's
11th? What happened?
Somebody took over as
just a few days later, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. That something is happening, and I believe it. I got to be honest with you. If it is true that they are doing this, and this is on purpose, and I think we can all kind of speculate, and you don't have to be conspiracy theorists to see what's happening with it, that it's on purpose. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't think Joe Biden knows.
Well, no, and we've already discussed.
It's not him.
We're blaming him because that's who happens to be president right now, but he's not running. This is Obama. I mean,
Obama
Soros and probably Gates
right.
now.
And the irks of all them. Correct. They're running the country, and I don't think Joe Biden has any clue that he's even awake.
Yeah, because Obama didn't ruin the country enough in his 8 years he served, so he needed a little bit extra time to completely destroy it.
He did. I mean, he really did. He tried, but he didn't do it. Jim, that's all I got for this one. Do you want to go on to another segment?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, now it's the Supreme Court's fault.
Jim, and it's also the Supreme Court's fault. I have no more coffee in my cup, and I'm a 24/7 coffee drinker.
Yeah.
This is a bad show for me, buddy.
And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, our wonderful, wonderful president is now blaming the Supreme Court for things that are going on in this country. And,
all right.
The left that are still complaining about the abortion that's going on and all this stuff, why can't they get angry about the food prices? Why can't they get angry about the gas prices? Why? Anyway, we just go on. So,
well, those things are all those things lead to their socialist green energy utopia they want to live in. So they're okay with it.
So Biden administration to families suffering high gas costs, guys. This is basically proving what we have been talking about and people on the right have been talking about. Brian Dees, White House director of the National Economic Council, said during a CNN interview Thursday afternoon that American families who were suffering from historic gas prices needed to understand that it was for the future of the liberal world order.
Saw that story.
Even if they can't afford it. Dees made the tone-deaf remarks during an interview on CNN's Newsroom with co-host Victor Blackwell after Blackwell noted that the U.S. officials have indicated that the war in Ukraine could last years. Because remember, guys.
Okay, of course.
Okay, so I want to ask you something, Dale. I feel you're very intelligent. You are.
Thank you. Oh, well, you're one of
way
them.
up there. And
I agree.
So
I agree.
Russia hates us.
I bet they do.
So we have the leader of our country and the left blaming our problems back home on the Russian invasion of the Ukraine.
Correct.
How quickly do you think Putin wants to resolve this war? That's all I'm saying, guys. I'm just saying that we are basically telling that for as long as they have this war, we're going to suffer in this country. And I think that's fair. These idiots. Anyway.
They're idiots. Idiots. Yes.
So he admitted that this is all part of the liberal agenda, world order that they're trying to do, guys.
Used to be called the New World Order, right? Still does.
And this is the White House Director of National Economic Council. Okay, this isn't just some blowhard. Okay, this is a guy who's actually in the White House.
Yep.
And
did the CNN interviewer question that terminology to him at all, or did I'm guessing not because it's CNN.
Well,
but
Blackwell did ask, but is it sustainable?
Yeah.
What do you say to
really hard-hitting question.
What he also asked, what do you say to those families who say, listen, we can't afford to pay $4.85 a gallon for months, if not years, if this is not, it's just not sustainable. So Dees then answers, well, what you heard from the president, what you heard from the president today was a clear articulation of the stakes. This is about the future of the liberal world order, and we have to stand firm. But at the same time, what I'd say to that family, to Americans across the country, if you have a president administration that is going to do everything in its power to blunt those prices and bring those prices down. How?
He's working on it. Remember, we talked about this 4 or 5
No,
episodes
he's not.
ago.
And stop.
But he said he is, Jim. He said he is.
I know he's not. He doesn't care. This is part of what they want. This is part of what they want to do. And for those of you in California, how do you like the governor now asking you to hold off on charging your cars during certain times because you have rolling blackouts and everything? So
exactly.
And you want to also put thank God to the Supreme Court for telling the EPA you got way too much power.
Correct. West Virginia won that case.
Because for those idiots out there who don't understand, coal helps with electricity. We don't have enough windmills. If you want to put a windmill on your car to see if that works, go for it. It's up to you.
I just saw a video of a most recent windmill collapse. Caught on fire. The whole thing fell over.
So
burn fell. I mean,
anyway, so this is. I'm speechless when it comes to stuff like this because, look, you and I don't care if you want to go green. I don't care. That's your choice. That is your right to do that. If you want to turn your house into a completely green house, go ahead. Don't make me do it. So while you're doing that, while you're developing this green energy, we still need oil. We still need gas because the vehicles that get to the ingredients that make your stuff for green energy takes gas
and oil and fluids and polymers and
let's
rubber
do
tires.
All this together because I guarantee you, as much as he wants to blame, and I'm not saying that this war isn't causing issues. I'm not saying that, but did you see the Russian money is worth more than the American money right now because he's still selling his oil. To China, we're doing nothing to hurt him. They're getting wealthier. We're getting poorer because we have a bunch of idiots running this country.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
So anyway, another quick thing. Chicago's crime crisis pushes owner of 13 businesses to pull his company from Chicago. Enough is enough.
Good. Yep. Should.
So he said, Chicago used to be his kind of town. No more, says Gary Rabin, who is joining the list of people and corporations moving their businesses out of the crime-drenched city. Amid a 35% increase in crime over a year ago, businesses' exits are rising, according to Fox News. Billionaire Ken Griffin, who is moving his hedge fund from Citadel out of the Windy City. Caterpillar, the construction equipment, we talked about this, equipment company is forsaking its Chicago area headquarters and moving it to Texas. Boeing is also moving out, leaving Chicago for Virginia.
Wow.
Where are these states that they're moving to? What are they?
Red ones now.
Okay.
Red ones now. Virginia again.
Now,
but
next
recently.
in line is Rabin, the founder of the Rabin Group and owner of 13 businesses. It's a road paving company, and it's hitting the highway and getting out of Chicago.
Wow.
We would do thousands of jobs a year for the city, but as we got robbed more and more, my people operating rollers and pavers, we got robbed. Our equipment would get stolen in broad daylight, and there would be usually a gun involved, and it got expensive and it got dangerous. The additional cost of security and insurance meant jobs cost twice as much as they should be. He said, noting that the work done for utilities ultimately meant ratepayers who could not afford to bore the extra costs. We stopped doing work down here. We stopped doing work for the gas company, the electric company, the south side, the west side, and eventually all over Chicago. Those companies now work in other places. They work over the border in Wisconsin, the outer suburbs of Chicago, where they feel safer. So, now
that's a local business. That's and
what is Chicago?
Guy's business.
I mean, what do you mean? What is talk Chicago? About the mess they're in, right? This
gun-free zone.
Lori Gordon Lightfoot is a joke. I mean, and not only that, but he also talks about the governor of Illinois. Now he did, in his defense, he tried to run, but he finished fourth in the Republican primary for the gubernatorial race. But folks, no Republican will ever win the mayorship in Chicago or governor of Illinois unless the people of Illinois stop
Wake the hell
because it is dirty. It is bad.
It's correct.
So I just I don't know. This is happening everywhere. I mean, people are moving out of New York. People are moving out of Los Angeles. They're moving out of they're moving out of Detroit. These states that want to lighter on crime or want to take guns away from law-abiding citizens.
Or on lockdown.
Okay, and first of all, the law-abiding citizens having their guns taken away, the criminals want that to happen. Because now the odds of them getting confronted by a gun when they commit the crime they're committing
severely drop.
Yes. Don't they? And when you have Chicago, how many times we hear the most strict gun laws in the United States?
Yeah.
They have more crime with guns than anywhere else because the bad people get the guns.
Exactly.
So,
which then leads me to the whole equating of, you took abortion away, we're just going to go get them illegally now they have to go get them illegally. Well, why doesn't that work with gun laws? Same situation.
I don't
so
I can't
idiots.
I can't stress this enough. This is liberal leadership at its best, guys. This is what happens. But no, the liberal people, they want to protest Roe v. Wade. They want to protest that stuff. Crime. Why are they not talking about crime? Why are they not talking about Mayra Flores, this woman of Mexican descent who filled a job that should be respected and cherished, but instead Nancy Pelosi pushes her daughter out of the way?
Yeah, exactly.
And yes, it happened, folks. Watch the video.
Watch the video. It happened.
But anyway, this is typical liberal stuff, and also one quick thing. Remember that Hutchinson that spoke in front of the generator? Oh my God, this was breathtaking. This was huge. This was, man. Well,
big story.
I think we're finding out that it's not, as we find out that
we know that
But also, Liz Cheney was caught hugging her after it was over. So, guys,
that's normal, right?
Even
that's
if
normal.
you hate Donald Trump,
yeah.
stop. So, are we going to go back and get Schumer? Are we going to go back and get AOC and Elizabeth Warren for saying what they said that caused the actual riots that are going on right now, where public churches are being destroyed, pro-life places are being destroyed?
Pregnancy
are
centers,
they going?
Are
they actually going to be punished? Doubt it. So
never.
Two-faced. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
It's a double standard. It has been a double standard for years. But yeah, you tell me how many of these congressional hearings, and they even said after, like nobody's under, no, this isn't a trial. You're not under oath here. Well, why are they swearing? Like, to tell the truth? I don't get it. I mean, she had to hold her hand up. She had to say the whole oath. But you're not. This isn't a trial. Nobody can really get in trouble here. That's what they said afterwards. And then Liz Cheney goes and hugs her. Yeah. Because that just normally happens after a congressional hearing.
She hugged the representative from Arizona that also went in and talked about how he was strong-armed into redoing the elections in Arizona during 2020.
Yeah.
And she hugged him too. So, guys, this is a farce.
It's a farce. It's a scam. Yeah. Everybody knows it. Nobody believes it. But yeah, that's that.
But
we moving on, Jim?
Yeah, but for all you left people, let's see this anger go towards what's really going on right now, and let's fix everything that we have. I mean, this is a mess, guys. Honestly, if we just start drilling, let the pipeline open the pipeline, start drilling. I know we can't use that oil right away, so don't give me that crap. But I guarantee you, as soon as we do that, the price of oil comes down, which means gas prices comes down. It happened. It happens all the time. We've seen it historically. So anyway.
Yep.
I'm done.
Yep. All right. Well, move on. Our last segment of the day. Jim, let me ask you two questions. If you could get rid of one state in this nation, and why were you thinking California? Okay.
Wow, you read my mind.
California school board member.
Pennsylvania would be my next one because it has Pittsburgh in it. But go on.
Out of all of them, you would take Pennsylvania just because of Pittsburgh.
Oh, hell yeah.
You would not take New York. You would not take.
No,
you would not take.
No, because Pittsburgh hurts me.
Oregon, Washington.
It gets me.
Massachusetts, Illinois.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. Yes, those states are horrible. Pennsylvania is pretty cool to go to. They just have a couple areas that are bad. But anyway.
Pennsylvania sucks. I don't like it either. Anyways, California school board member calls to boycott July 4th. And why not? So if you all celebrated July 4th, you were wrong, because she's going to tell you why. Mm-hmm. A California school board member is calling for an Independence Day boycott after the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. Yes, we should all, because everything equates to Roe v. Wade.
Did they overturn it, though?
Everything. No.
They just sent it back to the states.
That's how it works. Yes, of course, Jim. These California buffoons. Anna Marie Avila Fierres. Didn't say her name right. Don't care. A member of the Contra Costa County Board of Education. Don't even know where that's at. Posted. It's in California.
We might need to learn that because she might be governor someday.
Well, you got that right. Posted an image past Tuesday on Facebook that declared boycott 4th of July. Quote, I haven't celebrated 4th of July since 2016. What happened then?
Yeah.
She sounds like she was a big Trump fan.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a holiday to celebrate, she wrote. What do you think? That was her question. The school board member's post was met with mixed reviews, with some commentators asking for further clarification. Quote, I am not feeling particularly patriotic, she said. I am especially not interested in celebrating a holiday centered around freedom-born oppressive government when that freedom is not a reality for so many people in this country. Because nobody's free in this country, right?
all because they can't kill babies.
All
Because they
can't
want to
kill
curb the
babies.
population.
Well, I guess prisoners aren't free in this country.
They're more free now than they ever were. I mean,
R. Kelly isn't. But moving
all
on.
you got to do is say that you're a transgender and go in and have a gangbang when you go.
You can dick them down, Jim, if you want. Lastly,
if you listen to the earlier part of the show to understand that one.
If you only heard that part, you might be thinking, what's wrong? Lastly, last Friday, so this was a week ago, but last Friday, women's reproductive rights were taken away. They can't reproduce, apparently.
Wow.
We
I didn't hear that. Yeah. Who? Okay.
I didn't hear that either.
Okay.
She added, quote, "We are not in a place of progress or celebration when human rights are being taken." Oh, we've gone beyond this. Not just women's rights, human rights have been taken away.
But what about the people who feel...
Have your rights been taken away? My gun rights were a little infringed upon.
What
I don't get...
what about the other pro-life people?
What? Who are they?
Yeah,
wackos, right?
Yeah, okay.
You mean they like babies? Yeah. Come on. They don't believe in murdering unborn children? Those weirdos. Anyways, moving on from that, just real quick. Joe Biden claims Americans must pay for more at the pump till the war ends. Now, you reported on that, did you not? Yep. So I'm not going to report on that.
Sorry. Oops.
I thought we kind of went over the agenda.
I don't think so.
We did go over the agenda.
I don't remember that.
Said that. Jim.
Sorry.
So, anyways.
Well, what do you have to add?
I've got about Biden. I still got something Biden you didn't add, you idiot. Reviewed it. We reviewed it beforehand. Not often do we.
But how many times do I really listen to you?
I said, Jim, I believe I don't have as much of you. Here's what I'm going over today. And you're like, oh, sounds good, Dale. Sounds good. Yeah, we're good. Go on with the show.
I don't think I sounded like that.
Biden. That's what I heard. After a spring that saw Biden administration policies cause American babies to be hospitalized from starvation, gas prices soar over $5 per gallon nationwide, inflation over 8%, and Biden spending billions to defend Ukraine while leaving the U.S. southern border undefended, Americans by a stunning 85% say the nation is on the wrong track. Now you're thinking, well, Jesus is heavily a Republican poll. According to a poll by AP released this past Wednesday, including a whopping 78% of Democrats who say the nation is on the wrong track. What? Are some of these Democrats like starting to wake up a little, you think? Might happen. The right track number has collapsed by over 50% in just 2 months, down to just 14% in June from 29% in April 2021. Biden's overall approval is 39%. I still believe that's high. Disapproval 60%. 60, 70, 80, 99. 1% just don't care, apparently. With approval by independents at 25%, just 1 point above Richard Nixon's Watergate low of 24% approval, which happened the day before he resigned in August 1974. He is just 1% above Nixon on the day before Nixon resigned.
But I would still put Nixon above Wilson.
I would too.
Wilson.
Tricky Dicky.
Carter.
Oh, there's another term. Tricky Dicky. Yeah.
Carter. Obama. Biden. I'd put Nixon above all those guys.
I agree. Sort of. I'm not sure about putting him above Obama. Believe me, and I hate Obama. Yeah. But
you know what's funny? We're arguing a president that actually got impeached over Okay, I'll let you have it. He's not quite above.
That's the truth. The only area Biden has approval over 50% is his handling of the pandemic.
What?
Yep,
Because
53%.
He gave money to people.
He gave money. There you
That's
have it.
all
What
he
it takes,
did.
Jim. Jim, I got to tell you what. I probably would have a little bit more favorability approval of you if you gave me money. I'm just saying. So there you have
Just
it.
wait till
You can buy friends,
wait
Jim,
till
and I'm one of
September
them.
and October.
Okay, what happens then?
You're going to see student loan debt, some of it forgiven. You're going to, you're going to see
Not mine.
so
Already
much. I
paid
know
it.
you're going to see so much gifting of something. It's like, oh my God, look, we're turning it around. Oh,
It's Christmas in September.
Come December, I just lost my house. What happened?
What do I do?
Yeah.
What do I do now? On guns, Biden is at 36% approval, and on the economy, 28%. So there are still 28% of the people out there that think, yeah, I love high gas.
And those
prices.
are the 28.
Sure.
Those are the.
I don't need food.
Those are the 28% that are still protesting the abortion law. So anyway,
those are the 28% that should be jailed.
Well,
Independents give Biden 14% approval.
That's a good
on the economy. On the economy, while Democrats give Biden 54%.
Well,
Democrats.
You heard my story already. I stole your thunder. I'm sorry.
You dino. Republican approval of Biden on the economy is, guess what?
It's got
5%.
Oh, I was going to say, who in the hell are them?
Yeah.
Liz Cheney.
It says it right here. Cheney, Kissinger, you name it. Romney, probably. The nationwide poll was conducted between June 23rd and the 27th, just so you know. That's where this poll was taken. University of Chicago online and telephone interviews
Dodging the bullets.
Using landlines and cell phones were conducted with 1,053 adults. The margin of sampling is an error of plus or minus 4% on this poll. Meanwhile, the daily civics tracking poll has Biden stuck at 32% approval, which is where we're thinking it most likely is, if not lower, for the past week, with 20% approval by independents. The civics poll has Biden's approval by Democrats at 67%.
God.
While the AP poll has Democrats giving Biden 72% approval. But overall, 85% polled think we're going in the wrong direction. How can they give an approval?
It's just, see, that's why this...
This is why we don't believe polls, but I got to be honest with you. It's really the only, besides your wallet, it's really the only indication of how things are going and what people are thinking. You're going to have polls always.
Mm-hmm.
I never really do believe them. You take a look at, like we talked about the polling in Georgia for the primaries where Vernon Jones was polling at 75% and he only garnered 24% of the vote.
Yeah,
I'm sure nothing happened there, but
and Abrams is now even with
Kemp. Yep. And I'm not a Kemp fan. Don't get me wrong. They cannot have Abrams as governor. I'm telling you right now, if they do, I'm going to petition DeSantis. I'm going to say, build a wall at the border of Georgia and build the highest freaking wall you can. Although housing prices will go up here again because people will be wanting to leave Georgia. That's for sure. Jim, I don't have anything else except to say this, that I did want to thank before the show started, really, January and Bernadette for coming on last episode. If you hadn't heard it, if this is the first one by some chance you're listening to, I'm super sorry. But if it is, then go back and listen to episode 40. That's the interview with January and Bernadette, and it has to do with transgender transformation in schools and January's story specifically. But it was amazing. Again, I can't thank her enough for that. It's really just, they were incredible and we appreciate their time. Great, but go ahead and listen to that. I just wanted to thank them again for
great interview.
Great interview. And Jim, do you go ahead?
Well, real quick, that interview was fantastic because let's face it, those two, I could listen to them all day. I mean, I really could.
I could have too.
And
I had many more questions.
And they were on time constraints, so we couldn't really go into more detail what we wanted to. But man, they're just fantastic people. And we want to help them any way we can. We want to push it, and we are always going to continue because it falls in line with a lot what we're doing for Moms for Liberty. And
that is correct.
Moms for Liberty, go back and listen to the 4 sets of interviews with Paige Miller and really find out what is going on. And I know some of us sit here and say, well, you know what? I haven't seen that in our schools. Well, maybe it is going on. Maybe you need to just, all it is watch for the signs, check this, check that, because this is happening, folks. I mean, this isn't where parents are trying to tell teachers how to teach. No, that's not what it is. That is not what it is. Our children don't need to be going through this stuff. Like our children don't need to, our 10th graders don't need to be taught that I'm going to mix up your insides. That doesn't need to be taught. Okay.
No.
My favorite part is this is mean. This should not be said.
Yeah.
Okay. You just told a 16-year-old kid what not to say. Guess what they're going to say? I mean,
they're going to say it every time. That's my favorite part too. But anyways, I wanted to plug, Jim, real quick, Bernadette's website and her campaign, which is really, it's called the Child and Parental Rights Campaign. You can go on that website, look them up. You can donate to it. You can send them stories. It's really got a lot of very valuable and good information on the website itself. And Bernadette is the president of that as well. So I wanted to go ahead and say that real quick. Again, appreciate both of them. Jim, I appreciate you and your wonderful stories today. It was good. It was good. I mean, I'm telling you, it was good. Big shoes to fill for next episode. That's all I'm saying.
I told you we would enjoy this one. So
yeah, that was, and again, we're not making fun of it, but we have to laugh. You just got to laugh.
Guys,
it's ridiculous.
You can't sit there and say, "Oh, that's not happening." There's no way. After everything we've seen, yeah, there is a way.
There's a way, there's a way, and it's happening. So that's that. So, Jim, thank you again, everybody. Thank you again for your continued support. Remember to keep on sharing our podcast and reviewing our podcast. Again, our good friend Mark on the outro will tell you exactly how to find us out there. So make sure you pay attention to that. Go listen to his podcast, The Conservitude. We are still pushing that. He's doing great. So he doesn't need our help. We just like to kind of throw that plug out there to him. Jim, anything else?
Nope.
All right, folks. Thank you again, and we'll see you all on Thursday. Jim, adios.
Thank you.
You've been listening to the 2 Guys, 1 Coup podcast with Dale and Jim. Remember, you can watch on YouTube and Rumble and listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. And if you like what you hear, go ahead and give us a 5-star review. We really appreciate it, and it helps others find us when searching for podcasts. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and TikTok. Just search for 2 Guys, 1 Coup. That's the number 2 Guys and the number 1 Coup, C-O-U-P. Thanks again for listening to the 2 Guys, 1 Coup podcast, and God bless the United States of America.